All right. Hello, everybody. I'm going to hang tight here just for a second while we wait for everybody to log in. All right. Oh, Stephen, you made it. I know we had Stephen who wanted to watch the recording, so he got to join us for a little bit today. So Thank you for coming, Stephen. All right, just another second or two, and we'll get everybody logged in. All right. Well, I want to welcome everybody this morning. Good morning and welcome to Webinar Wednesday. We are so excited to have Fox Blocks here with us today. They have been a member with us for many years. We were just talking before we started, 2016, I think is when they signed on with Builder Partnerships, and we've enjoyed the relationship ever since. We are going to be having a great conversation today with David, and I want to go through a couple of housekeeping items before we get started. If you guys have questions through the program, we're going to reserve them all until the very end. Down at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a Q&A, two speech bubbles. That's where you go ahead and ask questions during the program. I'll read them out loud for David at the end of the program, and he'll go ahead and answer those for you. And then if you have any issues during the program that are more technical issues, or you have questions directly related to me or our Builder Partnership staff, you can go ahead and click the chat speech bubble and direct those questions to me directly. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to David. He is the expert in all things Fox Blocks for us today. So go ahead, David, and you can have the floor.
Great. Thanks, Emma. I really appreciate it. Hi, everyone. Thanks for dialing in here on this Wednesday, middle of the summer, dog days of summer, very hot. We're all inside in some air conditioning, not out in the field building here today. So thank you so much for everyone dialing into this presentation. So the title of the presentation, Fox Blocks in 2022, moving from alternative building methods to the mainstream, very valid in this market here for our company, which is Airlight Plastics. We make Fox Blocks ICFs and True Grid permeable pavers. Solutions, in our industry right now, checking the box for multiple building materials and also working with smaller crews and, a labor force that's shrunk, quite a bit. What I'm going to be showing here today and demonstrating is our insulated concrete forms. These are forms that check the box for multiple building materials on site, and also providing out the traditional steel reinforced concrete walls that we're used to. Making the title alternative building method to the mainstream is very valid. We're providing out that same concrete wall everyone's used to, just concrete plus. We're providing out double insulation, furring attachment, all kinds of great stuff in our walls. So I'm going to go ahead and share out my screen and start this presentation. We're going to take about 45 minutes of content and leave 15 minutes in here for Q&A. So hope everyone enjoys the presentation here. Let me go ahead and get on into my screen here. And that's the one. Very good. Let's get back to the beginning. Really appreciate everyone being dialed in for this. Good stuff. These presentations, they're a labor of love. I've personally been in insulated concrete forms industry for 15 years now. Very proud to be on board with Fox Blocks and Airlight Plastics for 10, celebrating my 10th year here working in this method of construction. No better place to be. It's a very exciting technology that's come a long way. Presenting out to everyone here our industrial insulated concrete form by Fox Blocks. And probably I've met a lot of you either at the executive summits for builders partnerships, managing for profit, value engineering, a lot of the different programs that Ed Shin and the great people at Builders Partnerships have put on, we've been a part of and growing with. As they mentioned, we've had 5 years on with Builders Partnerships and growing everything we provide out to all your members. Complimentary, we want you to work and grow and utilize our technology as you see fit. So we are talking about insulated concrete forms. Many of you have probably heard of this technology. Some have been wondering how it's growing and where it's going. We are on the grow. We literally have now 23 manufacturing plants across North America. We're making millions of Fox Blocks forms. And so we're kind of at one point really best kept secret for owners and builders that could see our speed of construction and value. Now what's happening is with energy codes changing, the cost of conventional materials, and then the labor force shortage, a lot of these items point to our forming system. Our forming system provides out a great flat vertical wall. We're talking about concrete forms. Best thing is you just don't strip off our form. You get all that technology and performance in a form that is going to give tremendous energy savings and performance. So here's just an overview and a cutaway of what a typical Fox Blocks looks like. You'll see in the middle of the screen our double insulated form. That's 2 5/8 of closed cell insulation, and it's molded around our web ties. Our web ties are 8 inches on center. So we're not like typical studs being 16 on center, we're 8 inches on center. It's in order to hold a lot of that concrete head pressure, so much pressure coming in when you pump and place concrete inside of our walls. Our industrial strength web ties are made to hold that form unit in place. The form units being straights, corners, 45s, radius, T-blocks, all different items I'm going to show you today. Our industrial strength web tie that's molded in our unit makes that all possible. Okay, so just a little overview of what that product cutaway looks. And then here's our lineup of Fox Blocks. All the different shapes and sizes used in construction, from residential houses, basements, to commercial projects and movie theaters and all different types of projects. We just don't give off a straight block. In the past, decades ago, you'd get a straight unit, you'd have to miter cut everything to get 90s and 45s and your form unit the size that you need. We've now are in this golden age of ICF where we have 90 degrees and 45s, and we have Fox bucks, brick ledge, T-blocks, taper tops, any way that your designer needs to form up and have the shape of concrete in that vertical wall, we have that covered. Also from the structural perspective, we have a very streamlined, slim unit, goes down to a 4-inch concrete core. And I manage down to Florida. Florida is very popular using our 4-inch concrete core unit because they're typically using a 6-inch or 8-inch masonry block unit that's grouted. Well, we have a 4-inch monolithic concrete wall with that 2 5/8 of insulation on each side. That's more structurally sound than a grouted masonry block wall. So we streamline it down to a 4-inch concrete core. What's typical in residential constructions also are 6-inch concrete core. For basements and below grade, 8-inch concrete core. And then we do massive projects, 20 plus story apartment condo buildings, 50 to 60 foot tall IMAX and Supermax movie screens. That's where we get into our 10-inch and 12-inch concrete core form units. We're also specified for the military. We're part of the Unified Facilities Guides for force protection. Military specs insulated concrete forms all the time because of our vertical wall, concrete, and then the insulation, providing so much energy efficiency and savings. The military's put us in their general specs. Okay, we're providing out a 5-in-1 wall system here. This is one of the keys of why we're really moving into the mainstream. Checking the box, we're the steel reinforced concrete structure, the double insulation on the wall. We are an air barrier and vapor barrier. Our bead is a type 2 expanded polystyrene. It's formed up to 1.5 pounds density. So we're not absorbing any type of water inside of our wall, and we do not need any type of house wrap on a Fox Blocks form unit. The fifth part of it, very important, we're not just giving off a concrete wall that's got double insulation. Those web ties that I showed in that picture, those are your studs. Those studs are made out of 1/4-inch polypropylene, okay? And that's also recycled material that we make. That's the attachment point for your exterior screws for finishes, for drywall screws on the interior. You can put hardy board screws to it. So essentially you're getting an 8-inch on center wall with studs on the inside and outside of the block. You don't have to put any additional furring on that wall. So it's really coming in timely. You have one contractor doing the work of 5. So this is what Fox Blocks is doing very well. Now we started in basements, foundations. This has happened a long time ago. ICFs migrated from Europe, is a sound vertical forming system. Now the insulation and the studs were completely different back then, but it migrated to Canada and the United States about 30 years ago. And the forming systems have really come a long way, but they still, number one market that we serve is for basements and foundations, okay? And so it's a great system. You have a contractor come, you're gonna basically set our forms on top of footer, put all the typical rebar in, horizontal and vertical, brace it, have your pour day. This is just a typical image of what a Fox Blocks basement looks like. But in the real world, we have to strip off the forms. The insulation stays in place. And so essentially you get to that total double insulated wall ready to put on your bottom plate, go up with your frame structure and keep moving. Now the savvy owners are going all the way up to their roof trusses now. They're just not stopping at their basement or foundation. This is one example where we shine, okay, in the basement market. Essentially, everything we provide out makes the most comfortable wall system out there below grade and above grade. Here's what we call our Fox Blocks Better Basement piece, okay? Better basement meaning that we're eliminating some of those issues, some of the callback issues that builders and contractors are getting for some of the spider cracking in the walls by the window openings, potential issues with a little bit of water moisture, creating some moldy studs in the basement. We get the wood completely out of a basement foundation. When we say a better basement, we make it so the walls are completely inorganic. Get the same concrete wall you're used to without any of the issues before, okay? And it's much more comfortable for the homeowner that's coming in. So here's a couple of visuals. You've seen the one up in the upper left-hand corner of a Fox Blocks wall that has the waterproofing on the wall system, goes right down to the footer. Here in the lower left-hand corner, you see a Fox Block stack of really, it's got quite a few corners that's in that structure, but you get a gist of how our product is stacked, formed, and braced. And then the image on the inside that gives the attributes of our system. We don't need the wood studs. We're not going to put batt insulation on the inside of that below grade. And so we're a system that literally has everything in place for one contractor. Okay. Here's a couple of good images of how our forming system is typically going up on projects and concrete placement inside. On the far left side, that's a product called Formadrain. Okay. So there are more advanced forming systems out there. There are mono fab footer forms, there are fabric forms. This example here is a PVC that's got serrations in it, and it acts as a concrete footer and also your drain tile. So you're not doing those two steps in one. Formadrain's a product that I've used for my parents in a property in northern Michigan. I love it. It's a way that you can form up your footers and have your drain tile plugged into it. In the middle photo right here, here's a Fox Blocks basement that has our Corbel brick ledge form in it. You'll see that we have a straight stack of the product, and then we have a lip on the outside of the project. So we do have Corbel brick ledge as part of Fox Blocks. And then just really close-up image of on a pour day of the concrete, setting up and solidifying, shows the vertical rod that's stubbed out on top of that wall. We are the same concrete form, same concrete wall that you're used to, just the insulation changes it, concrete plus, okay? Images here of conventional basements, and I've had multiple homes over my lifetime, and I had one home in Michigan where, man, I just got a lot of spider cracking in the basement, in and around the glass block windows. And so no matter how much contractor would parge and tar and work it, hard driving rain would always have a little trickle of water, come on in, through that basement opening. And it was a nice formed basement. And, it had the brick form to it. I loved it. But man, there's always just an issue having the contractors come back and try to parge and tar and keep any type of, water drips coming down the foundation. What I've experienced in working with Fox Blocks, and not only on my personal homes, but builders and contractors, is that the callbacks are driven down almost to zero. Our form work, it's protecting the concrete. It's acting as air vapor barrier. It's making it so hard driving rain and issues aren't just coming right to the concrete. So we are a form that really works in conjunction with concrete. One, to make the wall super strong, and then two, to keep the elements out. Man, it works fantastic. So a lot of the builders that come over and start working with Fox Blocks, I ask them what are some of their pros and cons of using the system. They say it's a very short learning curve. They say they wouldn't have years ago, that they shouldn't have worried so much about using this new technology because it's virtually eliminated their callbacks. And it's because of the double insulated form, right there. They're able to speed up their construction schedule. Since they're not stripping forms, they can work on stacking another project. You don't have to keep lugging around the heavy forms. You don't have to reinvest in all that, the strippable forms as well. So that's a big piece. As I go and we learn and work with the folks at Builders Partnerships, and we're talking about managing for profit, if you can eliminate those callbacks, eliminate touching back on a project and just make the customer happier, even if it's for the most minuscule detail on a home, that's time and money saved, for our organizations. Okay, so that's where we're growing into the mainstream as well. Here's a wall section detail of a Fox Blocks wall. Okay, so in this example, this is a better basement piece. You'll see that we're going on top of a typical poured footer. Okay, reinforced footer with steel. They will have dowel rod that's inside of the form to go vertical. Our forms can stack right on top of that traditional footer. Okay, it's going to be stacked. We're going to be putting in horizontal steel, depending on the steel schedule. Could be every course, could be every other course. Our blocks are 16 inches tall. So if we're stacking up a basement that's going to be going 9'4", we can stack up 7 courses of our product and get to 9'4", allowing for slab to be poured in place. In this example, you see we're fully stacked and we're actually using a taper top form. That way we can go ahead and have those floor trusses come all the way out to the outside of the structure and be flush with finishes. So our taper top unit can be used in basements, can be used at top of wall in residential construction. You'll see that we have an anchor bolt. It's going to be set down in that wet concrete and it's going to go down to that bottom plate. So we can have the typical wood trusses span all the way across our form units and come right in plane with where the finishes need to be. And you can have the Fox Blocks down below grade. This is just one example. You can see quite clearly in our install steps, it's condensed. Not as many contractor actions as you need with traditional form and poured walls. Okay, so all good. On the flip side of going from basements, I'm going to move into some of our small homes, micro homes, residential, larger residential, and show you some things about commercial construction. Very proud that our product, we transcend from smaller residential to modest luxury, large unlimited. We're seeing a movement with younger home buyers and the younger generation. They want micro homes. They want smaller homes that aren't going to break their bank but be highly functional. This is a design in Florida that we're seeing quite a bit. Micro home, all Fox Blocks ICF, and then they're using flat work, insulated decking to then have a patio, porch, or kitchen on top of, say, the garage. With beauty about concrete, the right design, the right steel reinforcement, you're only limited by your imagination. And the cost of concrete hasn't spiked as much as the soft wood and other traditional conventional products. So there's no better time to look into using more form and poured concrete on your projects. These micro homes are really taking off. Homeowners that secure their own land, find the right design build, find the right Fox Blocks contractor, find the right builders. They want some smaller, more compact homes. Even to the affordable home market, we're not limited to luxury. It does give high performance and quality, like you're in a luxurious home, but it's the economy of scale. From storm shelters, micro homes, basements, and large luxury, we're going to shine. So here's an example of small homes. Here's an example of what Fox Blocks looks like to more modest to larger size homes. You're not limited by the shape, the color, the finishes. Everything applies inside of our system. You can use, if you're used to using traditional Portland stucco with wire mesh, you can screw that to our block and go on with your Portland stucco. If you're used to using acrylics, you can take that acrylic base and go right to our foam, and then you've got your nylon mesh, and then you build up your acrylic stucco on top of that. Hardy board, vinyl, all the different products you put on our homes, whether if it's small or luxury, it all can apply. So there's just some visuals on Fox Blocks homes, modest, more luxury. We are really hitting stride as it relates to storm protection, hurricane protection, tornado protection. We've had multiple homes get hit. One specific in my region was Hurricane Michael that happened in the panhandle of Florida a number of years ago. We had homes that survived that. Other stick-built homes decimated. homes that were being pushed off their foundations from 6-foot wall of water. Fox blocks stood strong. We're really shining in that storm resistant side, tornadoes, hurricanes. And then what's happening too is that we're really hitting stride with when you have to get your HERS rating. You've got to get your home's energy rated. I know that's mandatory in Florida, where I manage, and different states around the country are really adopting the blower door test and getting a HERS rating. So we're a proven system that's going to reduce a lot of that energy consumption you have and provide out that storm resistance. I have more information, more detailed information on our HERS ratings and how that's all achieved in the slides that are coming up. We are part of a number of award-winning homes and projects, residential and commercial. I pull up this slide because it further shows designs and the way that our product is finished. I know a lot of the builders that are on the call here, I mean, your finishes are going to vary, from stone and brick and hardy board plank and, vertical siding and vinyls and stuccos. Here's a glimpse of just how our projects work. These are a variety of jobs from churches and residences and multifamily. And so just some good stuff about, what we do and what is the final product with us. We're really ultimately growing to that mainstream. We pull our customers and ask them, we're all excited about the energy efficiency. And we talk about that so much. The energy efficiency in our form, you're going to use only 60% of your typical energy consumption in a Fox Blocks home, a 30 to 40% reduction. We're excited about that, and we pitch that all the time, but we ask our customers what's their number one. They say it's not the energy bill. I mean, they like to save money, but it's the comfort. The comfort of our system, the real world of it, is having that monolithic concrete wall with double insulation. It makes it so the home feels luxurious. It makes it sound better. It's a quiet home. You don't hear your neighbor's lawnmower. You don't hear the Harley Davidson ripping up the road. From a perspective of storms, you don't hear it raining unless the rain really hits the glass on the windows. And so we ask our customers, what do they like about Fox Blocks? They say, well, it's really cool. We wanted to, build a sustainable home that will last a long time. They say the comfort side of it is the number one thing that they love about Fox Blocks. And they tell all of their family and friends about it. And we grow tremendously off of referrals because of the comfort. On the builder side of it, once you get through and build your first Fox Blocks project, if it's a crawl space, knee wall, basement, storm shelter, the buildability, speed of construction, one material that provides out all this to get to your finishes is just tremendous. It allows you and your crews to do more projects, be more profitable. We're also growing from code approvals, the different ratings, the different states that are in the Southeast, they want better storm protection. In the markets of Mississippi, Louisiana, Florida, Southeast, they're making it, the criteria of steel reinforced walls and concrete is ever growing because of the storms that we see and the safety. And so at the end of the day, when you build a Fox Blocks home, we know it's going to take whatever Mother Nature throws at it. And we've been really out there working hard to demonstrate that to everyone. Well, the storms are proving that. And even my colleagues out west, we see a lot of fire, see a lot of wildfires, we see a lot of issues. And so, that's a safety perspective from us. Our 6-inch concrete core will achieve a 3-hour fire rating. So we're different than a 2x6 wall that's spray foam. That concrete is adding a lot of safety and performance, okay? On the energy efficiency side of this, a 75% reduction in air infiltration. We've all been there. You feel you go by an electric outlet, you go in a home that's a little bit older, and you feel a little draft, coming from that stick-built wall, through the sheathing to the outlet there. And it's just because, the blowing wind outside, it's going to make it inside of that stick frame structure, and it's going to provide, some air infiltration there. I know a lot of people in the meetings I go to, builders partnerships, the market for spray foam is really come on, and I applaud that. A lot of our builders use spray foam up in the attic space on Fox Blocks homes. We just take care of that cavity well. We like to put concrete inside the cavities. Okay, so I'm a big proponent of spray foam, but I like to put that up in my attics. Okay, I want concrete in my walls. for that storm resistant side and flying debris. It's a hardened shell against any type of flying debris that's coming through that home. We have an R23 on our closed cell foam. 2 5/8 of closed cell insulation on Fox blocks give an R23. Now, the concrete inside of the wall, that's not going to give R value. That's going to give you mass. So we are a thermal mass wall that's going to dramatically slow down the radiation of a really hot day where the sun's baking on the structure. And then it does it in reverse when it's cold weather. For those that are in cold weather climates, you're not going to have the same cold penetrating through a Fox blocks wall than stick frame construction. Okay. A big part of it too is we don't have any thermal bridging. On wood frame products, you have the studs going right to the exterior of the wall. Even if you've got spray foam there, you're going to have points of thermal transfer going through the wall. So we say keep the wood inside of your projects, your demising walls, partition walls. Fox blocks is the perimeter, stick frame on the inside, and we'll protect all that. So big part about energy consumption with us is that we are going to work for within that peak energy consumption. When you get to that zenith of the day where the sun is baking on a stick-built home and that air conditioning is just trying to keep up. It's trying to pump cold air in that project, trying to satisfy the thermostat inside the home, okay? Fox blocks home is not going to have that peak energy requirement because we're not putting those same loads on the air conditioning system. We're not going to spike. We've got more of a gradual throughout the day energy consumption model, okay? From when the sun is up and really hitting that home till the end of the night where all that heat is escaping back out into the air. We're not going to allow that thermal transfer inside the structure. The thermostat, it can be dialed up. I have a lot of people keep their thermostats on Fox blocks home, 74, 75, 76. It's all about just getting your humidity level right. You don't have to keep that air conditioning down so low. I have a lot of customers say they don't put their thermostat on a Fox blocks home below 73 because it feels too cold. Okay. So the big part of that thermal mass wall is going to really resist that heat and that cold transfer inside of your home. Okay. On the fire resistance piece, safety is all of it. I see going around my territory, I manage the Southeast, 10 states, and man, I am seeing a lot of stick-built hotels and condos and apartment buildings. And it's a lot of glue laminated wood. It's a lot of soft wood. And unfortunately, we see fires, and so it's a safety perspective. And so we're part of that. Fox blocks, in conjunction with NRMCA Build with Strengths program, we're helping to educate and inform owners that building with vertical concrete walls is a smart option. It's a safety piece. Terrible to have a catastrophic event. It can be eliminated by using concrete walls. That's where we come into play. Like I said, on a 6-inch concrete core, we can get up to a 3-hour fire rating. On our 8-inch concrete core and above, we satisfy a 4-hour fire rating. And so that's substantial. Okay. Here is a link that I was going to play, but I'm going to send it out to everyone. We're highlighted on CNN on being a fireproof material. Just unsure with the internet connections if it's going to play right. So I'll be sending this out to everyone as a follow-up piece. It's really impactful how CNN covered insulated concrete forms and fire protection. Okay. On to storm protection. One of the ways that we're moving from alternative to mainstream. Here is the Johnson home in Mexico City Beach. Everyone's probably heard how Panama City and Mexico Beach, they got decimated a handful of years ago in the Florida Panhandle. This home was one of 3 that survived in their neighborhood. It's Fox blocks all the way down to their concrete footer. They went with trusses 2 foot extended past the Fox blocks walls. They used hurricane straps from Simpson Strong Tie, which embedded in concrete and then attached to the truss, and then they spray foamed the undershell. And the 150-mile-an-hour winds didn't damage the roof, didn't take off anything on that roof. This home took a 6-foot wall of water, never had any issue. They just had to replace the drywall and electrical Romex where water came in their home. The other homes in their neighborhood were clear pushed off their foundations, and the damage that the Johnson home sustained was from a home floating into theirs. Their gutters and some of the fascia on the back of their home. You can see it here in these images here. This was their neighbor's home that floated off their foundation. And here's the 6-foot wall of water that made that happen during Hurricane Michael. On the rear end of the Johnson home, this home floated, literally floated into the back of their home. So they had to replace drywall, Romex, electrical, and get some gutter fascia improvements. But these other homes built at like the same time, $300,000 insurance losses, and the Johnson home, $11,000 to $12,000 in an insurance claim. So that's substantial. You know, that when we're able to reduce those claims for that type of loss, that's going to help everyone with their homeowners premiums. So in these areas where we have these high wind events and we have hurricanes and tornadoes, you know, we're seeing State Farm, Allstate, different insurance agents, they're giving a significant reduction in your homeowners premiums because of building with ICFs. And so this is a piece that's very near and dear to us. Okay. Here's the owner, Mr. Johnson, showing how tall the water came up on his home, on his Fox Blocks home. They had people in the neighborhood come to their home because they knew it was built out of concrete. And so it protected them. Some of the homes that were, you know, really getting pounded and starting to move around, they made it to the Johnson home and it protected them. And so, you know, it's a very, very significant piece that we showcase. Moving on to how the Fox Blocks product works to my builders on the line and your costing and budgeting, we have a really good free estimating tool. It's called our Fox Blocks Pro Estimator. This is available through our website, foxblocks.com. It'll be in the follow-up email I send to everyone. This is a valuable tool. Once you calculate out your linear feet, what your bearing height is, how many turns, you can plug in your opening sizes. We can plug in the steel schedule and man-hour rates. The beauty about this estimating system is it's going to give you metrics and numbers on the speed of construction with Fox Blocks. Okay, so this is we're not shooting from the hip. We're not providing out information that is just well, on a single family home is 2,000 square foot, you're going to save X amount of days. We're able to give you hard numbers. We're able to help you get reports on your critical path, how we're going to eliminate days of construction, how we're going to have the one crew perform the work of 5, and how this is going to really estimate out in your job. I can walk you through and give you guys an intro to this free system. We use this on every project. We just ask that your company and your key estimator go through some training with us, okay? We can't potentially do every estimate on every home. We can show you how to do it, and it's very straightforward. So this is one of the free tools that we provide out in how builders are getting hard numbers on what we do up front, okay? This is a really key piece right here. Moving from the mainstream, we would not be moving just from the popularity of it. The dollars and cents, they make sense, okay? You picture on your job site a lay down pile of all these materials, okay? So you're gonna have on there, you've got waterproofing, you're gonna have your contractor with the cast in place wall, the steel. You're gonna have on there either XPS insulation or EPS to the outside. You're gonna have zip panels, you're gonna have bad insulation, air vapor barrier, all those things. What I do for our contractors in our regions is we give them a spreadsheet of our line items of materials and labor. Just, it doesn't lie. And in this market right now, with all these conventional materials being very high, and then the labor market being a little bit short-sighted, you tally up cost per square foot on a through wall basis. Not just how does Fox Blocks compare to a stick frame, or how does it compare to a masonry block? Well, what's everything going on that wall? Because we are a 5-in-1 system, we go to do a comparison of apples to oranges, we really shine. In this example here, I worked out for some of our customers in South Carolina. What they were experiencing is once they build the structure out here, they had $19 and change into their current wall system. And that was 2021 pricing. I just saw that at the top of the slide here. Fox Blocks is at that point a little bit cheaper, but we're not a cheap system. It's just we check the box. That's the real evidence. That's the truth, and why we're growing is that when builders and owners really do the math on their line items for materials and labor, we shine, and you're getting so much speed of construction. And so that's kind of like the hidden piece and the work that we have to do to help everyone. Everyone on this call here, you have access to 12 of me across North America. We have regional advisors all across North America. We all have the time invested. We can put together these sheets and work with you on your costing. We're going to dramatically shorten up your schedule and give your owners better product and save you a lot of time. So it's a great piece to do this exercise, because you'll see that Fox Blocks is not an expensive system. We just account for all the things you typically put on your wall. Okay. We poll customers about what they want. What do they want in their homes? They want their homes to be well built. They want their homes to last. They want the homes to survive storms and fire. And so the typical quote we get from people is that if they were fearful of spending extra money on Fox Blocks and they had a builder that was really educated on it and presented it out to them, what we get back from owners is that it was such a nominal investment in Fox Blocks that it far overshadowed any worry, any doubt, any dollars and cents. And they're just super happy on performance, comfort, and their energy bills. Everyone on the line here, we're just having a lot of fun showing everyone what we've been up to for 20 plus years and sharing references from the jobs that you're working in and references we have. I mean, that's how we're really growing and doing all these projects. Is the builders are coming on and growing with us. Owners want our product. They want a better built product. And so with the market and conventional materials being so high, there's no better time to get into insulated concrete forms and realize all these performance metrics we have. Builders partnerships members right here, we're seeing, I need to move my screen a bit so I can go over this quote here. What we're seeing right here, and this is actually a quote from 2021, that we see a fully loaded 2x6 frame wall, not Fox Blocks being not less than 5 or 10% more. That was last year. A lot of my builders that are working the Southeast, they're saying that the difference in their fully loaded framed wall is less than 5% with Fox Blocks for that investment. So on a 2,000 square foot home, $7,000 investment in that home. Mortgage interest rates are still fine. And so what you look at is if someone's financing that $7,000, say today's interest rates being 5.5, they're putting in an extra $30 a month in their house payment. But on a 2,000 square foot home, be saving around $125 to $150 on your energy bills. So to me, that's a good investment, especially as you get into the storm safety, protecting your family, everything. We see that the owners are going to get a rapid return on investment in their home to recoup the $7,000. Okay. It can come rather quick. Okay. 4, 6, 8 years. It is a project that's going to last hundreds of years. Okay. So it's a good investment. I do hear people across the nation say, well, if you build with ICFs, your home's going to cost double. That's inaccurate. You've got to do the math on your through wall materials and labor, and our Fox Blocks crew can help you through that. Okay. Customers are buying our wall, and we are growing because they're getting the metrics. Man hour rates, they're looking at the cost of steel, they're looking at the cost of concrete, they're looking at wood, zip panel, sheathing, everything's on the up. But our system has stayed relatively flat. Being expanded polystyrene we use for our Fox Blocks and our foam coolers for Omaha Steaks. We buy in such bulk, we make our own web ties. Our product has not experienced the same cost spikes as conventional materials. Finding out again, structural wall, double insulation, 1.5 inch wide studs on each side of the wall. And we do have a slight permeance. We don't need a house wrap or air vapor. We have a permeance of less than 1.0. And then we are the air barrier. So these are like the feedback we're getting from our owners on the system and the realization of it. Here are some projects here going up. This is one of my contractors near Nashville, Mid-South ICF. This fella is 30. He's been in ICFs for 10, doing tremendous projects in and around Nashville, where that cost per square foot is really high, $450 to $500 a square foot to build. They're putting in Fox Blocks ICFs. The owners love it, and the projects are just flying through. So in the example in the middle, you'll see that we have a Fox Blocks wall where we even have our radius built in. Fox Blocks makes a 6-inch radius form. We can do radius walls from 5 foot to 10. In examples where we need to be a longer, more gradual radius, we can train your crews on how to cut our blocks and make a custom radius in the field. It is that easy. Our product is great for cutting and making specialty shapes. You'll even see gabled ends as well. This image that's in the far right, we have gabled end up on this. And so very flexible. We can be made to different shapes and sizes. I'm going to follow up with everyone after this meeting with a lot of our white papers, a lot of discussion points that you might not hit in on this meeting that we're having here. We have a variety of white papers and writings and testing and data to share with everyone for topics that are specific to your region. Okay, so we've got this to follow up on. Okay, HERS ratings. This is a biggie. We're seeing this a lot in Florida and the surrounding states that you get a blower door test done. The companies, they want to see what your air infiltration is, what is going to be your typical energy cost, for that homeowner. And so we get this information on what baseline HERS index is of a reference home. The reference home is built out of like 2x6 with like barely to code insulation. And when you're building to that standard on this home that was near Orlando International Airport, stick built home in a HERS rating of around 100, the energy was going to be about $3,300 a year. The owners decided to use Turning Leaf Construction, one of our top builders in Florida, just to do the Fox Blocks envelope. They didn't put a lot of high-end variable refrigerant, mini splits, and didn't do triple pane windows, and didn't do a lot of those extra steps. And look what they're able to take their energy savings down to. Just with the Fox Blocks walls and typical insulation in their roof, they took down their yearly energy from $3,300 down to $1,900. That's significant, okay? And that's day after day, month after month, year after year. That is for a home that's going to last a tremendously long time. So for those owners, any subsequent owners they sell to or family, multi-generation down are going to have this energy savings. This is really outstanding here. We're involved in a lot of net zero projects. A lot of our builders, they've made the leap into doing renewables, getting into solar, doing a lot of things with geotherm and radiant, Turning Leaf Construction in Central Florida, some of our top. Here's a HERS index that they just gave to me a few weeks ago. They're at a -22 on the HERS index scale. Triple pane windows, Fox Blocks ICF, spray in the attic, variable refrigerant cooling system. This is what's really key. Mitsubishi and Trane, those are some of the brands I see out in the industry. And the variable refrigerant cooling systems they have are just outstanding. They work perfectly for Fox Blocks because you're multi-zone. You don't have to have one big central air conditioning furnace with all this ductwork pumping cooling, through the house and staying in the duct and losing it in your ductwork. When you have a specific system dialed in per zone on ICF, we shine. So this is going to be a net zero home. They're doing dual metering. This is not a project that they're putting the battery systems on and using that energy inside the home. It's going back to the grid. And a lot of the energy providers are providing out net metering. And so net metering goes well with the net zero process. And I know that this is going to evolve over the years as solar becomes stronger and more prevalent. The thing that we're talking about here in 2023 is that we're achieving net zero ready structures where you don't have to pay for that capital improvement yet. Okay. We're always talking to homeowners and builders. You can build to a net zero ready standard and not have to put the solar or photovoltaics on the project yet. Is your base level Fox Blocks perimeter, spray foam, better windows, you'll get there. Is I believe energy codes change over the years. The push towards net zero has become more popular. I've heard this term for 10, 15 years. But we need the solar to really come to a point to be very affordable. And the best part is when you're net zero ready with Fox Blocks and you are going to make that leap to solar, you're buying less solar because we're not at the same type of loads. We are not using the same type of energy because, again, we're saving 30 to 40% energy consumption. That's going to lower the owner's capital investment into solar and renewables. So great stuff. That's a whole nother education discussion we can have. This is just one of the ways that some of our top builders are building their net zero ready homes. We're kind of getting to the end of visuals, and I want to give a little bit more info and then answer questions. I always get the answer in my class is how tall can you build with Fox blocks? What are some of the very large projects you've been involved in? Well, here's a 22-story apartment building in Waterloo, Ontario. And this one is student housing. And so they had concerns. It's a very cold climate, 7 months out of the year. It's very close to a busy street, so sound. And then they wanted the fire resistant side of it. So this is one example, 22 stories of Fox blocks, all built floor by floor. Here are cinemas over in the left-hand side with these images, 40 to 50 foot tall walls, 8-inch concrete core, and they used our T-blocks. Our T-blocks were used to separate the movie theaters. So you're not hearing, if you're watching, say, a romantic movie or you're watching a comedy, you're not hearing the action movie that's blaring next to you. So our forms were great for movie theaters and for sound, okay? We do have a tremendous amount of technical information online. This is part of my follow-up with you all. This BIM Smith partner we have from the design and build standpoint, you can grab any of our wall section details, shallow wall, stem wall, basements, 1-story, 2-story, pools, storm shelters, and you literally can take it, even if you don't have the Rivet or CAD platform, anyone can take and rotate and move around the details and see how this wall system comes together and take any of the guesswork out about how this really works. So BIM Smith is great, and especially for the design teams too. You can pull down files, 2D, CAD, Rivet, all different type of files for the platform and design platform that you're using. So that's a really powerful partner that we have there. We also have an integrated learning channel. I've seen on the guest list here, I've had some of my guys from Kentucky on the line. Hey, Rodney, appreciate you guys going through our integrated learning channel. We put this out and we've been working on this for years, but especially during COVID, it was hard for us to go out and do face-to-face meetings. And we took our collective experience. Fox Blocks has been around since 2006. Airlight's been making reward wall systems since 1990s. Myself and everyone on our staff, collectively, we have over 300 years of ICF experience. We took all that information and put it into our integrated learning channel, so it's on demand. They'll see Glenn Clausen, one of our guru, long-term Fox Blocks guys and industry leaders, giving training, education, and modules. And it's on construction, and it's also on product knowledge. We have 2 sides to our integrated learning channel. It's free, it's complimentary. When you go through the system, you get a pocket card that you've gone through these first steps in learning insulated concrete forms. And then we have 3 more levels on top of that: journeyman, master, and elite premier. So as contractors and builders grow with us, you continue to get free training and certification. You also lean on your regional advisor like me across North America to give you guys hands-on, to give you guys technical and point you the right direction for this whole process. It's really straightforward. One vow we make to all builders, partnerships, members, and even I have contractors and builders on the line that aren't members. We're going to train your current contractor base. If you have subcontractors that are masons, carpenters, poured wall guys, this is a tool that's going to enhance their building. We're not asking these guys to throw away their form work or to get out of masonry or stop working with wood. This enhances the build. A lot of times the traditional trades, as they start working with our product, they're like, I don't know why this hasn't grown as fast as it should have. I should have been using this years ago. I can use this in conjunction with what I already know about masonry, poured wall, and carpentry. This is not a threatening product. This is a product that can work as the perimeter on your builds, and you can work all the conventional materials within. So we're going to train contractor base. We're going to use our integrated learning channel. We're going to give them dedicated service from the regionals. We can train your current shell contractors too. If you're using traditional forms on a project, those forms are being tied up. Our blocks can come as you're working with traditional forms. Those guys, as that concrete's curing up, they can stack a Fox Blocks job. We see that on neighborhoods, if you offer up to your customer base the Fox Blocks option, hey, $7,000, $8,000 ad, you're going to get all this energy, comfort, storm resistance, fire resistance. Offer it up to them. You're not losing any money. You're able to do more projects because you don't have to strip our forms. And so that's something that a lot of builders say to us like, wow, I can have all these projects going. I'm not waiting for form work and stripping. You just keep moving. And we're also going to work with your current crews, shell contractors, carpenters, masons. I know I've said that before, but we want to really demonstrate to you guys that this is a non-threatening tool. This is a tool based on performance, made all in the USA, and we're growing tremendously. We need a larger contractor base to take our product and grow with it. The owners are going to love it. That is a guarantee. Our experience and proven technology, this is actually, I got to change this a bit. We're over 25 years of ICF experience in it, over 14 million ICF blocks produced to date. See all the different metrics of what we do. We've been growing tremendously and getting ready to grow again. Our leadership team has put in new plants, one that's north of Georgia and one that's north of Charlotte. We're going to continue to do that to service the local markets and continue to grow this beast, okay? Just a visual of where the plants are at. I'm happy in my region, we have 2 more that are coming on. Some shift away, some we put in place strategically based on where the business is at. But you can see that we have really good coverage to what we do. This is the last slide that I have. And then I'm going to open this up to Q&A. I have a few people that have texted me during the meeting that I can answer questions, and then I can leave it open to people that are on the line. But these are all the metrics. This is over my 15 years experience. This is the culmination from architects, engineers, builders, owners of really how we check the box. They're going to get that higher energy efficiency and lower energy cost. The builders are going to get that speed of construction, fast construction time, the structural stability. There's no comparison from a wood frame structure to a concrete Fox blocks. We've got all the details put together for integrating your roofs, all the attachment points through like Simpson Strong Tie and different accessory products out there, wall and window connections, door transitions, the sound. We've got an STC rating of 52. That's how we qualify for our movie theaters. Indoor air quality piece. I'm sending out the white papers to you guys on that. American Heart and Lung, they've given us designations on how we're a better, cleaner indoor air quality product because we don't have the same air infiltration coming through our walls. We are a recycled product that's not only green, but it's saving all that energy, sustainability piece, the green construction, it's all there. It's ready for finishes outside and inside. And then as we move into 2023 and beyond, net zero ready. If there's a way that we can harness more of the sun and solar, put that back on the grid and net out our energy bills, we're really starting to get somewhere. Our building component with ICFs, it plays an important role in your building and the overall longevity, storm resistance. It's not going to rot and decay. It's going to give everyone a lot of comfort and peace of mind. Okay. So last slide's there. I'm on a thank you. Let me see what the time is here. I'm a couple minutes over. It's 12:53. I can open this up to questions by everyone. Emma, got you back on the line. I know it's a lot to come at everyone, but that's just a hi, hello. We're here for you. And we create all kinds of dialogue and webinars for anyone that needs our assistance. Okay.
Thank you so much, David. That was great information. And we actually have a list of questions, and it sounds like you have a list of questions over there as well.
Sure. You want to go back and forth, maybe with one that you have first?
Yeah, let's. Michael asked this question very early on in the presentation. He said he's looking for more insight on Fox blocks for in-ground pool manufacturing. He's starting a new ICF pool construction business. Is there any advice you can give him or information you can?
Yeah, we'll send out, a specific email about pools. We're getting very popular with that. In-ground, above grade, we have prescriptive engineering for that. Our form, you're building a basement in reverse. So walls are form and poured. You're gonna be having a waterproofing membrane. You can go with all kinds of different finishes or vinyl liners. But yeah, so to everyone on the line, the answer is yes. We do a lot of Fox blocks pools. We've got a couple of builders on YouTube that have been doing a great job of showcasing their work from early site demolition, footers, pool walls, finishes. There's a wealth of visuals and information online that I'll follow up with everyone, but our pools work great. What happens is, below the frost line, you're at a 55 degree, okay, just the way that the earth works here. When you have a bare concrete wall that's inside of that, when you go to heat a pool, you're having to put more energy in that pool because you still have thermal transfer. Okay. Everyone, you want to keep your pool around 78 to 82 degrees. Well, if you have that thermal transfer coming through a bare concrete wall into your pool, you've got to accommodate for that thermal transfer. Our system is going to resist that, and it's going to help with the heating bills in your pool. You're able to get up to that comfort level a lot faster. So that's just a little glimpse into how we can shine for pools.
Oh, excellent. All right, your turn. You have a question.
Okay. So I had one of my contractors in Kentucky text say, hey, I would like to get some information or visuals on that waterproofing barrier that's on Fox. He's like, I see that the blocks are white and that's the foam, but what's that black or dimple material that goes on the outside of it? So yeah, guys, in the follow-up, there's going to be a list of common accessories that work within our system. What I showcased there was a product called Platin. It's a dimple membrane, and it's basically it's a vinyl product that gets wrapped around the and screwed into our web ties. So we have those products as a dimple. There are also peel and stick membranes as well that can go right on the wall. But I'm going to follow up with some of the typical accessories and visuals on how they go. And then they all have YouTube videos related to it. We do have waterproofing membranes by a company called Polyguard, which has a termite barrier in it. It's a non-chemical solution. We're all about not having chemicals. We want to get away from that. We have a waterproofing membrane that we refer that will take care of that below grade and any type of termite or pest. It's a fantastic product, and that's what we use. And so there we go.
Oh, excellent. Well, I have John who asked a question, describe your waterproof system below grade. John, I'm not sure if he answered. Is there anything additional that you can add to that, or does that, I think that might have answered John's question.
Yeah, that should have. And just to expand on that too, we do get the question like, hey, do I need to waterproof above grade? You know, so you got the basement covered, you've got either the dimple membrane or the term barrier, waterproofing and termite. Above grade, we don't need it. It's not a food source for pests. We are the air vapor barrier. You can put your finishes right to Fox blocks. If it's a home that's receiving a brick face, there's going to be a typical airspace. The ties are going to screw right to our webs. Then they can go right up with the masonry block. They can use our Corbel brick ledge. If they're using hardy board, that can go right to our product. The stuccos can go right to it. But no, you don't need a waterproofing membrane to Fox blocks above grade. So I just want to expand on that.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Great.
Since that was a tag onto your last question, I'm going to ask Stephen's question. You spoke about the fire rating. Are your ICFs tested to be left exposed to conditioned spaces, or is there a specific ICF that allows the same?
He's probably referencing with the fire rating how that overall assembly works. And when it's a conditioned space, to complete our assembly, we're going to be putting a 15-minute fire barrier on it, 1/2-inch gypsum, just putting drywall over our system. That's how it's tested and approved. Now you can get a 15-minute fire rating with 1-inch wood, which is, dimensional 3/4 inch, architectural metal panels. Any product that's going to give a 15-minute fire barrier, that's for conditioned space. That's where you might have mechanical equipment, items that are on the home where they don't want any type of combustible product next to insulation. So just like with, stick built, you're not leaving bat insulation exposed or spray foam exposed. You're going to want to cover it with a 15-minute fire barrier. The drywall gets it done.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Your turn.
Yeah, so in this day and age right here, we've all experienced with manufacturers and suppliers supply chain issues. And so I've got a timely question. Question is about supply chain status. We've been working really hard. Our plants, we're fortunate. We've had a lot of our workforce come back. Happy to report Fox Blocks, we have full stock. Our plants, we have a surplus of product. We are an extremely busy summer market, but we are keeping in stride with the demand. And we are fortunate earlier this year to build up a stockpile. And so we have plants with multiple shifts making Fox blocks. We're not limited to one plant. And so it's good. For example, in my territory, I saw orders from earlier this week and they're being shipped out next week. It's all about just landing a truck driver and getting him to job site. Our product is 80 to 90% of the time is going to go from manufacturing facility right to the job site because the cubes are 4 foot by 4 foot. Don't have to material handle that twice. Sometimes we do have stocking dealers that are in the regions for extra product, extra accessories. That's all subject to availability, but we're able to ship right to job site very quick. Product is available.
Excellent. So on attack on that, John has anticipated every question that's been texted to you today.
Yeah, good. All right.
So he said the last time he checked on Fox delivery, it was 16 weeks or more. So what it is today, obviously, it's much faster.
Wow, did I hear 16?
He said last time he checked on Fox delivery of block was 16 or more weeks.
Yeah, that's even last year. We in my territory, at the most we were 8 to 10 weeks. Everyone got decimated with workforce, and so we have product. We have our expanded polystyrene bead. We have our forms. We have our web ties. We went down from 3 shifts down to 1 in a lot of the plants, and so that was a big part of that supply chain issue. There is getting staff to run those tools. We have hundreds and hundreds of Fox Blocks molds and our tooling and everything we do. We need people to run it.
Yep.
So that's all back. We're good to go. And we've added on more plants, and we were fortunate last year. Hats off to our leadership team. They bought our Hirsch shape molding tools last year. We have them now. If you go to get those shape molding tools now, they're a year out. So we made some moves last year to make 2022 and beyond great for lead times.
Excellent. So yep. John does want the rep contact for Colorado.
Okay, absolutely.
So that's John Karowski. So we'll make sure that we get that to him.
Great. So I'll put the follow-up email. I'll list out every regional, their name, their territory, and their email address. Our guys, we love hearing from everyone. I mean, it's just our lifestyle. It's what we do, and we just want to grow with you guys.
Excellent. Thank you, David.
Mm-hmm. Great.
I think it's your turn now.
We're covering them. The waterproofing. Oh, okay. In a follow-up email, I'll send to you guys what the typical bracing looks like on an ICF wall. This was not a presentation that's showing like the stacking and all the nitty-gritty on the job site. I'm going to give everyone the links to visuals and how that goes together. But you need to see the bracing. These kits are innovative. They're lightweight. They're aluminum stiff backs. They get screwed right to our wall, and then they have bracing supports, and they go up easy. They come down easy, very nimble. And so I'll follow up with everyone on the bracing systems. Sometimes they're available in your region with one of our dealer suppliers. Sometimes builders, when they're in a lull, they maybe are 2 to 3 weeks from using the Fox blocks for another project. They'll rent them out. Manufacturing, sell them all day long. So we can work out with you with the typical size home you have, how many braces you'll need. They're typically 6 foot on center. It's a nominal investment for a lot of production. So I'll follow up with everyone on the bracing as well.
Excellent. So John has one more question.
Sure.
He would love to know if you could do a webinar of a step-by-step build projects with photos.
Okay. I can do one even better. I mean, we can schedule that. And then I can also give you within our integrated learning channel, all of these videos. It's organized step by step. And so we can do that. Let's get you on that right away, John. So you can start to view that. You can do it in your downtime, at night, on the weekends with coffee, and then with your respective regional, you'll have a follow-up meeting with them. So you said Colorado.
Yes.
So we'll get you in contact with your regional, do integrated learning channel, and then start to have correspondence with your regional. And they're going to dial you into everything that from techniques and finishes right in your state. That way, everything looks familiar. I'm managing things from Kentucky to Carolinas down to Florida. So sometimes the builds are a little bit different in the demands, but yes, we'll get you access to all that.
Excellent. Did you have another question on your
I think that we kind of wrapped it up.
Okay.
Some of my guys in Florida wanted the same thing. How do we get the step-by-step and visual? And so, yeah, we have all that at our fingertips. And then the regionals will give you guys dedicated support. So we want to make everyone really comfortable, using our products.
Well, and I have one, it's more of a comment than a question, but
Okay.
Scott says that Fox has been around since before 2006, and he worked on Fox block homes in 2001 through 2002.
Well, there you go. So that's great. And I don't want to get too in the weeds on it. You probably might have used reward wall systems. And so Fox Blocks was launched in like 2005, 2006. It's all good. Our company's been making ICFs for a long time. We appreciate you using that product. We continue to take the form system and make it and enhance it and make it industrial grade and add on solution shapes and sizes to the industry. We had a contractor ask us years ago, hey, I want to make L-shaped curbs to put hollow core planks on top of, or hey, I want to put my flooring on an L-shaped curb. So we talk to our contractors and we make form systems that help them. That was our curb block unit. And so give us the needs, the things you see in the industry. We are a materials manufacturer and we want to make solutions for the industry. So we're here for you.
Well, I think that's it for questions on my side. Oh, yeah. John Krowski says he built with ice block forms in 1993.
Yeah, okay, man.
Hey, John, you and I both did it. I mean, it's really nice to have people that have actually used the product on the webinar.
It is, and I'll follow up too. This is good stuff. It's like nostalgic. I've got this link from Bob Vila working with some of the first ICFs, and it's like they're like layering a cake. They're stacking the blocks, guys, and they're doing spray foam on the bottoms and the sides, every joint, like it's like they're grouting it and mortaring it. These links I'll send to you, it'll just show how far our industry's come. And it's never pointing the finger like the technology wasn't good. It would just need to be fully realized. And I'm happy for the company I work with because we keep evolving, making good products. And we love going to look back at nostalgia and like where the industry's coming, where we're going. And so that's what we provide out to everyone. We've kind of gone through the pain points to give you guys the product that's a workhorse out in the field.
Yeah, in the old days, all you had was a unit masonry that was built out of foam.
Yeah, right.
And it was just stacking them up and trying to figure out how to make it work.
Right. Then you got to fur it out, do all that extra work.
Yep.
So
I mean, it still was absolutely fantastic. Right, John?
Oh, he can't talk. I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
given anybody permission to talk.
Okay.
Just you, Chuck. I do have a question for one of our guests on the other line. Michael wants to know where the other Michael is building starting his pool business.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to send that in the chat or answer that in the Q&A section. You're welcome to. He's in Illinois.
Okay.
So Michael and Michael, there you go. If you want to connect, you can let me know and I can connect you guys if you guys need to be connected. So
Great.
Excellent.
Well, very good. I know we've gone over a little bit. Thanks everyone for staying. I always tell everyone there's a wealth of information that comes out in these webinars. It's just a first step. We want to give everyone access to what we have. We're trying not to cram so much in, just an overview, and then we can dive deeper into the needs of your projects. I can't say enough about Builders Partnerships. They're helping us move from this alternative to mainstream. We're going to continue working hard. We've been around a long time. If you look at our core company, it's called Airlight Plastics, and we've been making American products for 75 years. We're going to be here for another 75. And we just ask everyone to embrace technology, and we can help you to save time, speed up, and enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. So appreciate everyone's time.
Thank you so much. We look forward to having a webinar with you again in the future.
Very good. Sounds good.
Join us next week for our webinar Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about some estimating topic. So I look forward to seeing you all next Wednesday. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Michael Dalzell, if you look in the chat, in the question and answer, Michael G gave you his email address.
Good stuff.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
Take care now.